It's 5:15. Call the health and safety meeting to order. Any public comment? Second call for public comment. Tom, third and final call for public comment. Minutes from the previous meeting. Consider placing the minutes from the April 28th meeting on file.
So moved.
I second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Nuisance complaints and vouchers. Nuisance complaints.
You'll see the three that are listed. The first one you're all familiar with. It's been going on for the second court date is due in June. And the second one defaulted on their orders, were issued a citation, so now it's starting over for the second time, and that's due the 1st of June. And the last one is just some fading paint that Darren is given until September for the people to paint.
All right.
Why would that follow under you?
What's
The feeding paint one, isn't that just a Darren thing?
he and I go together on all this stuff, so we got a witness.
Okay.
You know, we've had too many people complain that we didn't treat them right or something like
No.
that. So,
Really?
you know.
Okay.
And most of the time, you know, like this fading paint one might have had some other mold and stuff like that, and they took care of it. So,
Okay.
you know, the paint job, you got to give them more time.
Sure.
So,
Right up to middle school next time you go by there.
we got one came in on that Friday. We haven't been there yet. We haven't been able to contact to make a appointment.
Okay.
No.
I believe Darren went to,
What?
I believe Darren went and had a conversation
We've been there before.
with,
Yeah.
All right. Discuss and consider approving the vouchers. I'll make a motion to approve them.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Yeah. Josh, are you on?
Yep, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we discuss this $1 million treadmill?
I sent an email today explaining why we came to that decision to purchase that one. As I mentioned in the email, I apologize for not getting the pre-approval from the committee for the city policy over 5,000, but I think the work that was done by firefighter paramedic Schulke to find the best value in the treadmill is the reason we ended up at that conclusion. So really just oversight on my part for not coming to the committee first. And we still have time. It hasn't been shipped yet, so if you don't want to approve it, I'm sure we can cancel it and go a different route.
I guess why such a big hurry? Why couldn't we bring it to a committee?
No, just oversight on my part. I didn't recognize that we actually ended up getting over the $5,000 limit. So, like I said, we still have time. It hasn't been delivered yet. So if you don't want to approve it, like I said, I should have included and requested it earlier to put it on the agenda. Like I said, probably could have waited, but I don't want the lengthy lead time and delivery and the time that it took Dylan to look at it. And the fact that it's a piece of equipment they use every day when it's there. Like I said, it was really just oversight on my part and not jumping through the hoop for having you guys look at it first.
I guess my concern in the email, you kind of contradict yourself and say it's been months since we've had a working treadmill, so I decided to order this right away. We could have waited another month to bring this in front of committee. And it seems like sometimes department heads figure it's easier to seek forgiveness than permission, and that's where we're at today again.
Hey, if this is that big of a deal that we're looking at trying to find a good piece of equipment, and as I admitted time and time again here, you got it on record, you got it in the email, I screwed up, I did not get here's your chance to take me up on it. My apologies. It was not intentional.
What are we doing with the old one?
So the old one, based on feedback that firefighter paramedic Schulke had from the vendor, was that there was no trade-in value to it. They did not want it. They could have helped carry it out to the dumpster for us. Instead, we had our personnel take it out. We had one of our members ask if he could take it. I said, I don't care. It's going in the garbage.
Is there any value to it at all?
I did not believe so. If there was any value to it, then I know we have to get permission to sell the stuff too. So
Well, I
the way
guess-
it was explained to me is that we've had it serviced and maintained multiple times. It was a quality piece of equipment when the station was built. It's over 10 years old, and we could no longer get it serviced. So I have no idea what the gentleman that took it was going to do with it, but I know that if it had any value or if we thought it could get fixed, it would have been fixed. So I figured it was better to get rid of it than pay some sort of fee to have it disposed of. So.
Well, I mean, if he took it home, or assume he took it home, there's obviously some value in there. It isn't like you found a rock. You said, oh, I'd take that rock home. It's not worth anything, but gosh, I'd like to have it. So I think we're delving into another area here. We're potentially disposing of city equipment that has value, and it'd be against the city mandate regarding surplus equipment.
If you want Alderman Kaler, I will get something written up from the vendor explaining that according to him there was no value, and I believe the policy for that isn't it like $500 or more or something.
There is
So
a
if I thought it was more than $500, I would have came to committee for that too. So
I thought any surplus equipment had to go on auction.
at 500 or above.
That's what it was.
If there's useful life to it, maybe he took it home and fixed it.
And if you fix it, then
To what ends?
if we can cancel this order, it would be my preference we cancel this order. I don't know if we'd be owed any money or not.
yeah, I can call tomorrow and find out if they can cancel it and pay a restocking fee. We're still down a treadmill. It's been months to get. So yeah, I'd like to know then what you want me to do after this.
Well, if you would have had a voucher in that packet for $4,950, we wouldn't even be discussing it. I mean, we might have, but there have been no violation of the procedures. So if you keep your treadmill underneath $5,000, there's not much your committee can do to redirect you and say that was wrong, because you're following the rules. And I guess that's where I'm going with this, and it seems the gentleman to my right seem to have the same opinion.
So that's what I'm asking for clarification. So we're going to cancel the order, and then I'm going to bring it back next month as an agenda item, which you guys are going to approve it because then it's over the value, and then you guys will be fine with it.
I don't think anything's guaranteed to get approved here, but at least we get a kick at the cat.
All right, and then in that case, are you also going to spend the time and effort to review treadmills for our fire department's use? Because then it sounds a little bit of like micromanagement. Write me up, do whatever you need to do. I violated the city policy. It was not intentional, my mistake. I'll live with it. But now you guys, like I said, we still at the end of the day need a quality treadmill for the department. So if you're able to look into that and want to provide something back to me and the department for our consideration, that would be great.
As a clarification on the policy, we did look for a bunch of information today, and there was a portion on there that talked about, in 2022, was it, Lori? That talked about in $5,000 or more to get 3 quotes if possible. It doesn't say anything as far as equipment goes, as far as getting permission. You know, take a turbo out of one of the pieces of equipment down at the highway shop. It's under equipment. We're not going to come and ask you guys for permission to spend $17,000 if it's under equipment. So I get the line of thinking, and it's not a separate budget item that was budgeted for. But if we have operational costs that are over $5,000, we should really write a new policy that states exactly what you want, because it talked in there about equipment, didn't it?
Yeah, do you want me to read it?
Sure.
Okay. Purchases over $5,000. The City of Merrill purchaser compares 2 or more quotes whenever possible from price list or written quotes. The low price should be confirmed in writing by the vendor.
And that was at a PNF meeting in 22, was it? 23?
November 29th, 2022. A PNF meeting, yep.
And we did look for the purchasing policy also, and we have 2 different purchasing policy. One talks about bid items, and one talks about budget items as far as item or purchases, but it does, neither one have $5,000 on them. That's the only spot we found the $5,000.
Because I had met with the city finance director right after she started, and she told me that she found a policy that had that $5,000, or maybe that's what she's referring to.
Yeah. That's that one.
Okay.
And that just talks about getting 3 estimates or if possible, does it say on there?
2 or more quotes,
Yeah.
whenever possible.
So I don't know, Josh, if you had prices from 2 different vendors or not.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, if you actually looked at the information that was provided today, that actual retail price on this treadmill is actually $10,000. And we got a significant discount, which actually was less than my understanding from what Dylan told me, less than what Riverside pays, even though it's a like machine. There were other models and other vendors and other treadmills that were out there that exceeded the price of this one too. So ironically, not trying to micromanage, I left it up to, I thought, somebody that was going to do the research, which they did, that uses the treadmill and runs quite extensively. And I thought that we were trying to do the right thing, which was trying to provide good value in our purchases. So once again, like I said, I can't apologize anymore, I think, than I already have. If this was a violation of the city policy because it was over 5,000, didn't get approval, I am sorry.
I guess moving forward, I have talked with Emily quite a bit today about this, and Steve a little bit about it. We would like to bring forward to June's PNF policies on purchasing and get it in black and white and laid out. I know that doesn't cover this one, but we'd like it to be so everybody knows exactly what we're talking about.
Well, and like you mentioned, like I said, if this was a different piece of equipment that would have exceeded it, like I said, oversight on my part. Once again, I think we've stated that many times, but like I said, if it's something else, you mentioned a turbo down at the county. Well, if it was some expensive piece of fire EMS equipment, it would be this. I could see it being a similar circumstance where you're going to want to replace it as quickly as you can once you do the research and gather the information to make a good decision. So, like I said, definitely, like I said, there's an opportunity to bring a respective committee into the loop, but like I said, there was nothing intentional here of not getting it. Like I stated in the email that was sent today, I think that if the committee got the same information that I gave them today and a pre-approval, you guys would have hopefully came to the same conclusion.
In that meeting packet, did it say something about equipment also, as far as that we didn't put I thought there was one in there that talked about not having a
There was a cow that we tried to get a spending limit put on, and it was
Yeah, that
voted
was
down.
That was what it was.
But afterwards, the mayor found something that said there was already one in place. And the specific question that Dick Lupton had at the time was if the city garage has got $50,000 in an equipment budget, and all of a sudden it's more pressing to get tires for the dump truck than it was for that, then just let them do it.
Right.
And that was kind of the agreement around the table. But, I mean, this is not a capital item. This wasn't a budget item. This is moving around money, it seems like, in one's budget to make these large purchases. And I just think it should go through a committee of some sort.
Yeah, we could call it whatever it is. I mean, it's part of operations is down there as far as their facilities. But I agree, there should be some transparency ahead of time if possible. And I guess.
But even then, what would have changed in this? I mean, like I said, it was an operational cost. I recognize, and once again, in the email today, recognize that by spending a lot on this treadmill, I recognize that I will have to be more frugal in other areas of the operational budget and or consider future use of non-lapsing account funds to cover it. But But like I said, isn't this the job of the department head to make these decisions? You give us a budget, we're administering it, we're doing it to the best of our ability.
Yeah, but like Alderman Kaler said, it's more of you're asking for forgiveness than permission. And not just you, Josh, it's more department heads are doing that. It just seems to be happening more and more.
And I'll go, hey, so we'll do two things. Recognize it as micromanagement and then instruct Administrator Akey to put it on my annual evaluation for the year. Let's move on. I mean, like I said, there's no intent to violate and purposely, like, it doesn't make sense. Nothing intentional. Trying to do the best we can. Like other department heads, I think that they would like the opportunity. They would probably tell you the same thing. They're managing the money that you give us.
No, and I think this needs to be cleared up in our policies. So Emily and I are working on that, and we will have it for the June P&F.
You made the motion to approve vouchers. What is the other thoughts regarding this specific item?
As much as I dislike it, I think we do need a specific, like Rod said, we need a specific
Policy in place.
policy in place.
And we were even looking at the $5,000 number. What is, $5,000 15 years ago, if that was the intent, what does that equate to today? And it's, yeah, I know, you can TMB it and TPM, whatever. We will look at that, and we'll bring it forward.
But it still didn't make the criteria of the policy is in place. There were not 2 quotes received.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I will, if you want, I will get Dylan to provide the additional quotes. If the committee needs to feel and have that bit of information to verify it, I will work with firefighter, paramedic Schulke to get the other quotes that he received on there.
He did get he talked to other vendors, right?
Correct. Like I said, he spent hours on this project, guys. Hours. This wasn't just fly by the seat of your pants. You're like, oh, this is what I want. We're going to get this because this is the equipment I like. He spent a lot of time on this project. I tasked him with it, and that's I very much appreciate it from the line staff because that's not their job to have to do that. But given the fact that, once again, his experience in working out and being a runner, a long-distance runner, doing marathons, hey, we got a guy in-house that to me seems like an expert. I think I'm going to trust his opinion. So, like I said, he looked at a lot of them. He actually talked, because I got in trouble before for not buying local. We went and checked with Riverside to see if there was an opportunity to collaborate or work with them. That wasn't the best option here either. So, like I said, the intent was made other than oversight on my part and not getting the pre-approval for this $5,000 cap. Like I said, everything else was done with great effort to make sure that we were making a sound decision here.
Oh, I'm going to stick with approving them, approving the vouchers, as much as I don't.
Well, there is a trust factor too. I mean,
Right.
it's not like he over-abused the policy. He hasn't done this over and over again. I mean,
Actually,
it will be rectified
it's
in
the
your
second time.
P&F.
Yeah.
Huh? It will be, right?
But this is the second time we've had this discussion with this committee.
But we do need, it needs to go on the
Correct.
PNF.
Yep. We will bring that in June, PNF, and get some feedback before then even as far as some feedback from you.
And I know Dylan too, he is. He would look up stuff. He's in the wellness and fitness and.
No one's doubting his ability.
Right, I know,
Yeah.
but the procedure has to be fixed, and I see the concern here. You know, but like I said, it's not a grossly oversight, and he is ahead of his department, and he has done a great job, and you know, just
It's hard.
We'll get this fixed.
It's hard to clarify, what is a want versus a need, and
Yeah.
what's excessive spending versus not. When we get into machinery, like I said, at the street department, it's, I won't say totally different, but there's splitting hairs at certain points.
Yeah.
Where do we have this stuff collected, by the way? Because I don't even know where to find the policies. They're not electronic.
That's funny you ask. We searched Laserfish, we searched policies and procedures. Krista went in and looked at past policies all the way back to 1984, and that's where I was getting at. What's $5,000? Where was that number? When was it brought up?
See, and I remember talking about it since I've been on council,
Yep.
but I don't remember exactly
Where
when
do we
and,
find it?
right,
So we're not by
right.
And that's what
That's on my to-do list, to
What-
make sure all,
Not your fault, no.
no, but to make sure everything is in the S file,
Yeah.
so everybody can access it.
Yep.
Because not everybody can access Laserfish, and it's really difficult to actually search something in there.
No, and I guess when I got here, we were always told it was $5,000, but I always thought there was a policy in place, and when we went to look for it, we couldn't find it.
All right. Josh, if you can have Dylan, I guess, email us the other quote. And, I mean, I'm gonna go with approving it for now, and we're gonna go with that with the understanding that at the next PNF, we're gonna get this settled or get this run through. But with that,
All right, yeah, I'll pull that up, and there's other ones too. Like I said, we, once again, as stated in the email, there was sticker shock as well when I got it too, because I guess, like I said, looking and researching just residential units and too, and you're thinking a couple $100, definitely not expecting a couple thousand, but like I said, long term and seeing what the warranty was and the potential if we needed maintenance done on it or preventive maintenance on it. Like I said, that's where the decision to make a quality purchase on this piece of equipment was, like I said, what kind of moved us in that direction. But I will have Dylan see if he can get together the other quotes, and I will send those to the committee.
all right. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. General agenda items for consideration. Discuss and consider a temporary Class B beer license for the Merrill Baseball Association at Lions Park, Otts Park, and Athletic Park from May 30th through June 1st, 2025, from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. in conjunction with Merrill Baseball Tournament.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
Is this the one we have to add the dates to?
No, that's the second
That's the next one, okay.
But I actually added all the dates.
You got it, okay. Gotcha.
Chief, you're okay with that timing, 11 to 11, or?
Yeah, 11 should be fine in the evening.
Did they do this last year? For this age group, or?
This tournament, I don't know if it's the age group, but
I think they did, but they didn't have the time.
Okay,
They actually added the time this year, that's why I put it.
okay,
usually the temporaries will go till midnight anyway. Most
Okay.
of the temporaries do.
okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Discuss and consider a temporary Class B beer license for Merrill Baseball Association for the following dates: May 25th June 6th, 8th, 12th, 15th, 18th, 23rd, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, July 2nd, 6th, 7th, 9th, 10th, 14th, 18th, 20th, 23rd, 25th.
2025.
2025 from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Athletic Park in conjunction with Legion, Junior, Legion, and Ranger games.
I'll make a motion to have them have a beer license at Athletic Park.
Can we
for the
clarify those dates?
Legion, Junior Legion, and Ranger ball games.
I will second the motion.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consider the 2025-2026 liquor license applications per the list, minus trophy.
Yeah. I paid my bill.
I'll make a motion to accept the list of establishments to get a beer liquor license for 2025.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Food Truckapalooza inspection report update.
This
Chief Klug?
was my request to have this included for your agenda and information. Inspector Brzezinski, in an effort to promote the event and make it as safe as possible, did a inspection down in the fairgrounds there, similar to what we do for the fair. Working with Haley ahead of time, we were able to provide those potential vendors, and most of them would sound like we're pretty seasoned and knew what to expect with these type of inspections. So just wanted to share with the committee. Like I said, I think Joe, Haley, the group, everybody did a great job, and turned out to be not only a safe event, but it sounds like one that was well attended.
I have a question on this report. It said that 2 individuals were asked to extinguish cigarettes due to no smoking on the grounds. Where did that come from?
I didn't get into detail with Joe on where it was. I don't know if it was a proximity thing to combustibles or to a tent. I'm not really sure where his background on that was. I can definitely ask some follow-up questions, though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, doesn't matter to me, but they're smoking in a tent or by a gas tank, but if they're just standing around smoking, I don't see why the city has no ordinance against it, so.
Yeah, I would only presume, which I know is dangerous here, but I would only presume that it had to have some correlation to fire code or fire safety. But yeah, smoking down there of itself would not be obviously a fire code issue. So I'll ask a follow-up question with Joe when I see him tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other? All right, moving on. 2% fire dues program audit report, update and discussion.
Sure. Once again, a separate agenda item I'd requested. It had been a couple of years since we had our last audit. Just wanted to share the good news with the committee and the city that once again the department passed, so to speak, with flying colors, and no major deficiencies were noted in the audit. That audit is necessary for us to get a passing grade, so to speak, so we can continue to receive our annual 2% fire dues. So good thing to once again be able to let you guys know, like I said, everything was going well in that program, and we'll continue to get our fire dues.
All right, any discussion on that? Moving on to monthly reports. Chief Klug, you're up again.
I think we should have had Corey go next. We should have split it up here. But given the length of the meeting already here, I will take any questions or comments you have in regards to the report.
I have none.
I have none.
I don't have any as well. Moving on to Chief Bennett.
Monthly report is attached. As you can see, April was a busier month for us for activities. We've currently, just to update you, we currently have 2 officers approved by the Police and Fire Commission for hire. We're getting through the final stages with them. And we have 2 offers in hand for 2 more that should round us up for the year, hopefully. So we have to see that process through. It'll take a while. So
You have a promotional process going for lieutenant?
right now,
Yeah.
no.
What it says in here, Officer Kaler attended tech instructor training, so I just didn't know he got demoted.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I'm going to blame Jenny, so
Okay.
I'll flog her tomorrow for you, if that's all right. No, he attended tech instructor training, which goes along with his CPR instructor training and all that. It's tactical emergency casualty care. So fits right in with his background.
So you're comfortable with the candidates you have then?
Very comfortable, yeah.
They-
We wouldn't make the offer
Are
unless
they
we were
lo-
there.
Are they local or?
Yeah, we have,
Local
so
backgrounds or-
one just graduated from Mid-State Tech. She's originally from Marshfield.
Okay.
The one that's probably going to start sooner because he was just further ahead is originally from went to DC Everest from that area. Has been working part-time at Edgar.
Okay.
The next one just graduated from NTC, lives just south of Merrill.
Okay.
And then the last one that we put a letter in her hand is from Anago and is going to be going to the academy in the fall.
Good.
Watch out for girls from Marshfield that go to Mid-State Technical College.
It's ominous.
I know firsthand.
I don't know what to say. I'm going to leave that alone. That's all I have.
All right. Lincoln County Humane Society report.
Nope, they didn't have one this month. I forgot to take it off the agenda.
Consider placing monthly reports on file.
So moved.
Second.
I have motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Date and time of next meeting, Monday, the 23rd. Sounds good. Looking for a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion.
Everyone else has left the call.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.